our mission and our goal is to find the revelatory moments of politicians.
Welcome to Free Colorado News. I'm Ari Armstrong. In this episode, I talk with Kelly Maher of WhoSaidYouSaid.com.
I am a professional blogger. A year ago today, co-founded with a girlfriend of mine, WhoSaidYouSaid.com. We are a video-based political blog, and our mission and our goal is to find the revelatory moments of politicians and policymakers to expose that to the population in general, and then we take those videos of politicians and policymakers and analyze from our perspective what those effects could be.
So after the big election season, what are you going to be focused on in the off year?
Well, what we're focused on right now are issues that we see coming up in the next legislative session. We just did a series of pieces on the photo ID requirement, or lack thereof, for voting. I actually, on election day, voted with my electric bill, just a piece of paper, and then did an interview with now Secretary of State-elect Scott Gessler about that piece. And it actually culminated this last week with an op-ed written by the Denver Post in favor of a photo ID requirement for ballots in Colorado. It was really a big success for us.
I saw the video, so yeah.
Yeah, and they cited that video in their op-ed, which is really exciting for us.
When you're interviewing politicians or filming them, how do you draw the line between getting their opinions on the record versus getting gotcha moments that may not accurately represent their full viewpoint?
That's a really good question, and I think that it's one that it's important to discuss. I hate the word gotcha. It's something that we stay away from on our site. I think ultimately our track record over the last year has been able to demonstrate that that's not who we are. But from our perspective, there are enough quotes and there are enough things that you can take in context that actually reveal what a politician said or what a politician thinks, that it's not necessary to edit or to cut things down. And so you'll notice that a lot of the videos that we post tend to be quite a bit longer than those that you see on other sites, and we actually do that intentionally. We try to leave all of our quotes in context.
In Colorado, there seems to be a pretty good relationship. The media seems to actually pay attention to alternative sites. What do you see as the relationship between partisan groups like yours and the regular media like the Denver Post, 9 News?
The more mainstream media?
Yeah.
I think we have a very positive relationship with that. It's across the board we're seeing mainstream media organizations having a harder time reaching their audiences, and by virtue of that, they're being cut. And we saw that with the Rocky Mountain News, and we're seeing that, as the Denver Post pares down their staff, and they just don't have the resources to be able to do what they used to. And ultimately, we see more people getting their news and their information from alternative news organizations like ours. And we don't see it as a competition, and we see it more as we do two totally different things, but they can complement one another. So if I have a video that I think is particularly telling, or I have an issue that I think is particularly important, I will contact the members of the mainstream media, and they have just been absolutely fabulous to us.
I think that's all I had, so do you have anything else?
It's super fun. I love doing it. I can't believe that it's a thing. But, you know, ultimately, we now see that YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. And, you know, you see millennials are getting older and they're getting into decision making and voting ages. It's time that we figure out how to communicate with people. And largely, you see that in video. You know, these are people who grew up watching Sesame Street. So they're used to processing information in video and in under 2 minutes. So it's a lot less, this is not the same generation that will read the op-eds and the papers that we used to use to communicate with people on policy.
Check out my book about Harry Potter's heroic fight for values at valuesofharrypotter.com.